and the car is like going,
really?
It's like freaking
really?
out. And then what happens is, if you didn't know this, you're not gonna, obviously you don't have it on that one, but the screen will go, it'll go to, if you're watching,
mode?
No, it'll go to your directions.
Your GPS?
Yeah, GPS, and it'll take you some wild route to get you
to a charger.
Even though you're 2 miles away from your house.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Smoking Tire Podcast. Sorry for the sound quality in this ad. I'm on the road and doing it portable. This episode of the podcast is brought to you in part by Berryman Total Engine Tune-Up for gas and diesel. And why are we recommending Berryman Total Engine Tune-Up for gas and diesel? Because over time, gasoline and diesel fuels will break down and deteriorate. Untreated gas can be less potent, right? It can varnish the carburetor in an older car and possibly prevent your fuel system from working the way that it's meant to. Unwanted chemical reactions with aging fuel might also mean trouble over time. For instance, the evaporation of some volatile components within stored fuel might leave behind harmful deposits in your engine or stop your fuel from igniting properly in the engine after 3 or more months. And Berryman's Total Engine Tune-Up for gas and diesel is the solution. It eliminates any need for you to drain your fuel before storing it, and as fuel stabilizer, the Berryman product keeps your fuel fresh and preserves a properly balanced and stable environment. It's effective with any 2-stroke or 4-stroke gasoline or diesel engine in any season. In the fuel tank, it disperses moisture, cleans the injectors and carburetors, provides smoother top engine performance, and reduces the need for repairs. In the crankcase, Berryman Total Engine Tune-Up dissolves and dispenses gum, sludge, and other residues for better lubrication and longer oil life. And best of all, Berryman Total Engine Tune-Up stabilizes gasoline or diesel fuels for 1 year. That's why we recommend it, why I use it at Westside Collector Car Storage. And you can find Berryman products at all major automotive retailers. For more information, go to berrymanproducts.com. Folks, it's about that Rex MD, and you know where I'm going with this. It is about a stiff upper. And guys, we hate going to the doctor. It takes half a day to get it done. It sucks making appointments well ahead of time, validating parking in Beverly Hills. That's the unrelatable portion of the ad. And sometimes, let's be honest, you don't want to talk to your regular doctor about certain issues. And here's the thing. Most men's health issues have really simple solutions. And Rex MD is all about simple solutions. Rex MD makes getting generic and branded Viagra or Cialis easy. Everything's online. Even the prescription, they deliver right to your door. No office visits, no talking to a receptionist. Super simple. Did you know Viagra can cost around $90 a pill? But Rex MD has generic Viagra for as low as just $2 a pill. Just fill out a quick medical questionnaire on their website, and a doctor will review your situation and prescribe you generic Viagra if appropriate. Your medication will get shipped right to your door with free 2-day shipping. It's fast, simple, and cheap, and you can access your U.S. licensed Rex MD physician anytime you need afterwards. Rex MD has helped over 300,000 guys get generic Viagra quickly and convenient. Rex MD just works, and it works the very first night. So, starter packs or generic Viagra or Cialis are now available for our viewers, but you have to go to rexmd.com/tire to get it started. That's rexmd.com/tire. Go to rexmd.com/tire today to get started with a starter pack prescription of generic Viagra or Cialis, and all orders come with free 2-day shipping. Rex MD is the authority in men's health. Last but certainly not least, love my Harry's. It's all about Harry's razors. The time of the year is coming where things really start to stack up and get busy, right? And all too often we find ourselves doing things just in time, whether it's back to school, wedding season, holiday prep, Christmas shopping. It's crazy. And you know what happens to me is I forget to buy razor blades. I find out when it's shaving time that I need razor blades. And that's why Harry's is super, super clutch and super in charge of cutting it close. You see what I did there? I love Harry's razors. They haven't bought an ad from us in a long time, but I'm glad they did because I have been buying Harry's razors off the record, off the books for several years now. I like the blades. I like the rubberized handles. I like the moisturizers and the shaving cream. I especially like to take the shaving cream on the road with me because it's not like an aerosol one out of a can. It's in a tube, which makes it good for carrying on airplanes. I like the convenience. You can choose how often to get refills of your Harry's product. The body wash is great, smells good. And right now, Harry's is selling for very, very cheap a starter set for just $3. Plus, you get a free travel size body wash with the starter set. The set includes a 5-blade razor, a weighted handle, foaming shave gel, and a travel cover. $16 value for just $3. All you got to do is visit harrys.com/tire. And Harry's works good for me because I shave not just my face, but my whole head too. I can sometimes go through a blade in just one shave. That's why I need affordable blades, but I don't want to skip on quality. Your head is important when you're shaving it. Trust me, I've cut my head in the past and it is a bloody mess. Harry's 5-blade cartridges are awesome. Their shaving cream is awesome. And I love that rubberized handle that comes with the starter set. I've been using the same one for like 3 years. So no matter how busy things get this season, stay fresh with Harry's. Get your Harry's starter set today. Get that free travel size body wash for just $3 at harrys.com/tire. That's harrys.com/tire. Okay, folks, on today's show, I'm at the Ammo Studio, detailing studio in Danbury, Connecticut, with my good pal, one of my best friends for the longest time, Larry Kosilla. He's just spent like the better part of a week doing a paint correction, clear film, paint protection film on my car, ammo reflex coating on my car, on my wheels, everything. Getting my brand new demand modified Porsche Boxster ready for prime time. There is nowhere else that I would send my car besides him. And I checked in with him, took the car for a little spinsies, and we sat down to do a podcast. We talk about lots of great detailing questions from the fans. We talk about his all-wheel drive Carrera 4 Porsche and the dynamics of that. We talk about his Porsche Taycan because last time he was on the show, he was worried that the Taycan might not have enough range for his commute. And we talk about how that's gone. We talk about the first drive in the Boxster, as well as all the things he did with the car and factory paint corrections. It is a great show. From the Ammo Studio in Danbury, Connecticut, with my friend Larry Kosilla of Ammo NYC. Well, that's recording. That is the podcast. Done. That's it. We're over. Your trunk's open out there. You know that?
Yeah, because when I pull it back in, which
you put on the tender?
Put on the tender, but when we leave, you just help me push the 190 back in, and then I drive that one in.
It's a whole thing. All right.
A whole process.
Welcome to the Ammo Studio.
This is indeed
It's the studio in Danbury, Connecticut. Did we say
you
that?
On the back there, too. Look, I see a big screen with you.
Oh, with me.
See, I was...
With my website that nobody ever looks at.
Let's try
I think one of the very smart things I did was not put a dime into a website because fucking nobody goes there. Welcome to the Ammo Studio. Me and Larry.
That's it.
One of my oldest friends. And... my newest car.
Friend. Your newest
My
friend.
newest friend. Strawberry shortcake over here. Larry's had this car for a week.
Yeah.
If you're not watching the video version of this podcast, if it's the audio version, I'm sorry. There's going to be a little bit of echo because I have my portable thing and we're in a big high-roofed steel building for detailing. But you're just going to have to deal with it because frankly, what I'm telling you here, it's a privilege to be hanging out with one of my oldest friends, Larry Kosilla. in his building, which I fucking love. If I was building a building for myself and not for 125 other people, it would look just like this.
Yes, it's nice.
This
it looks good
rules.
from this direction. I don't think I've ever sat in a chair and stared from this direction. But yes.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's cool. Good. And we're sitting in front of my Boxster Spyder, fresh after
clean
full paint correction. Mm-hmm. What did you
basically when it came in, obviously it had all the white stuff on it, so I pulled that off. And what's interesting is the same issue that I had with the GT3, brand new GT3, maybe 6 months ago. When they put the white stuff on it, you know, the protection, I think moisture gets underneath it and it sits there. The paint is soft because it's brand new.
Right.
Sits there and it forms these weird little creases that look like this art, almost like your shirt here.
You mean my original Coogee?
Yes.
Get a lot of compliments on this.
So it kind of looked like that underneath. You basically have to polish it up, but heating it up. I don't know how nerdy we want to go with this, but I heated it up. Whatever.
Medium nerd. Because I put on Instagram that the car was here, and people are like, "Why are you doing a correction on a brand new car?" So let's, it's not like Porsche is bad at painting their cars, but why do you do a correction on a brand new car?
Yeah, because it's usually not perfect. It's not exactly where it needs to be. Obviously, we all know that Ferrari is like just hands down, unfortunately, the worst one. Like when
are they?
Like, I mean, it's almost like
my guess would be GM followed by Tesla are the worst.
No, I guess Ferrari, Tesla, and then GM and everybody else.
Okay.
The ones that you're like, well, yeah, I spent no money on it. Like, I get it, but like Ferrari's
the worst.
Come on, Koenigsegg right there, Bugatti a little bit underneath them, Pagani, all of it. But you're like, yeah, I spent $3 million. It better be perfect. Yeah. Koenigsegg by far is the best. Porsche's usually middle of the road. They're usually okay.
Is it better if it's like PTS because it's done on a separate booth?
Typically, it is a little bit better. But the difference is, remember I said the white thing that goes on there? Whether you have PTS, whether you have Model T Ford, black, it doesn't matter what's on it. If you put that white stuff on it and it sits in moisture, you're still going to get those lines.
Because they put that white shit on the factory
to protect it.
Right, and so this car was built at the end of May. Okay, it then sat at the port in Germany where there was a dock worker strike.
Nice.
For over a month, until the end of July. It was put on the boat July 29th, came over here, was delivered to Rick DeMann on September, first week of September. So that white protective shit was on the car for like 5 months.
Yeah, that's probably why.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite of what it's, you know what I'm saying?
Should they have just left it off?
In theory, like if something were to touch it and rub it, you're not going to get those rub marks. But I always find it interesting when you get a brand new car, you get that problem, specifically in Porsche, but forget about Porsche. But then they put all the stickers on the windows. And the stickers are like, they're like, you know what I mean? So when I pull it off, all the pieces get stuck. They have to scrape. I'm like, did they talk to me? Do you guys talk to me? Like, how do I make it more difficult for you when you're just about to deliver the car?
Yeah.
And so I think what's really funny is when I took your window sticker off, I wanted to do it really nice. And I didn't have time.
You don't want to mess the window sticker up.
All that.
They sent me a thing though.
Matter of fact, I got to figure out. Oh, your window sticker's on top of that computer thing back there.
Well, they sent me a thing. Because I have a few exclusive options. Not a ton, but a few. The door sills, the painted roll hoops, the painted to match badge.
Yes, I noticed that. That was my favorite.
Yeah, those are actually Porsche exclusive options. When you get anything from Porsche exclusive, you have to be approved for that. There's like paint to sample, and then there's exclusive, and then there's those things are the badge, the painted roll hoops. And the silver seat belts. Those are standard Porsche exclusive.
Right.
Check a box.
Right.
Then there's the door sills.
Yeah.
That's where you have to actually submit a proposal of what you want. They won't just do anything.
Right.
They'll do most things, but not anything.
Right.
And so you submit the proposal for what you want. Sorry, I said that wrong. I don't want to get it wrong. The seat belts, the badges, the roll hoops is exclusive. The door sills are special wishes.
Got it.
That's what has to be approved.
Got it.
That's when you want to do stuff that's not even on the special wishes.
Right.
So you could get illuminated red door sills that say Spyder or whatever from exclusive, but you want to say a thing that you want in a font you want.
Yeah.
Now we're into special wishes.
I was going to do that with the Ammo NYC on the door sill, but it was like $2,500 or $3,500.
It was. So that, like I told you, that joke was $2,000.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah,
if
like I straight up made a $2,000 joke in my door sills.
Yeah.
But I thought, I was like,
why not? At this point, you're like,
I mean, it's like, well, fine, whatever.
Yeah, you've already swam halfway across
It's
the
pink, like just make the joke, like, whatever. But the point is, when you do special wishes stuff, they send you a nicer they sent me this big FedEx that's not framed but ready to frame window sticker, a certificate of authenticity, and then a list of the special wishes stuff.
I wish they would make that like more like you would know that, because that would kick me over the edge.
Well, they just they didn't tell. It just showed up. I was like, what is this weird thing?
Yeah,
and then it just showed up. So I was like, oh, this is cool. So in my particular case, although yes, I want the window sticker, I just thought it was a neat thing that they sent me this like super nice one also.
I think that's great.
It's pretty cool.
Somebody who buys a car like this goes through all that process. So what I normally do is I take those and I go to Michael's and I put a little frame and I hand it to the person like, oh, thank you.
That's cool.
Kind of.
I mean, I'm going to keep it, but it was nice of them to do that thing.
Yeah.
You know, there's probably like $100 worth of like dry mounting involved. All right, cool, man. Okay, so anyway, you do the paint correction because it needs it from sitting, basically.
As I can assure you, there's no, how do I say this after 20 something years of doing it? Like, I have no desire to, like, I've checked the box in my life. I've got the 10,000 hours of polishing. So there's no reason for me to polish it unless it needs it.
Yeah.
So like yours kind of needed it. But once I did, it like brought that last.
But you
5%.
Also texted me and said that your paint is better than most.
I said it's above average, and it's above average for a Porsche. So it's not Koenigsegg or anything like that, obviously, but it is considerably better.
After dunking my first one in the ocean, maybe they wanted to do it good.
Maybe why don't we take a little extra second here and not piss this guy off anymore? Nice. Kind of thing. Yeah. So yeah, it was definitely above average. It had like 1 or 2 marks here and there. It just required a little bit of when you're pulling things off, there's glue and all that kind of junk. But was it anything to write home about for a normal human being? No, but that's not why people like come here.
Well, usually they bring you their garbage. I mean, because that's the thing.
Yeah, the camera can't see.
Right. Not most people. I mean, even I, who have some experience detailing, I have my own pseudo detail shop in Los Angeles. I've known you for 30 years. Like, you probably could have just washed it and put wax on it, and I probably wouldn't have noticed.
I would say
for a while.
I would say that that's fair, but there's 2 things. One, you know me, and a podcast or not, I don't really care. Like, you know that like I probably have like borderline issue with making sure everything's fine. I have a problem. Yes. Number 2, like it means a lot to me that it's your car. Like it was a big deal for me to get like my new Porsche. Like why would I not go even off camera?
Driving it today was incredibly surreal.
Right.
Because it felt like a press car, but it's not.
It's your car. So like to be part of that, as corny and whatever as it sounds, and I remember doing the wheels and I was like, I'm pretty sure he's getting new wheels. I'm like, screw it. I'm definitely putting coating on it. We put it on the lift. I'm cleaning underneath it. And everyone's like, what are you doing? I'm like, there's just like that moment, like, whatever. Again, we don't even have to talk about it now, but it's a big deal.
It's the shiniest thing ever right now. Like, it's crazy. And you also did full paint protection film
on everything.
And you did the lights.
The lights.
You don't do the windshield. Do you?
The lights, no, but I can have the windshield done as well. I have.
Does it distort the light?
A little bit.
Yeah.
So like if you have glasses on.
That's the problem. My Dylan Optics sunglasses, it can get a little funky.
It'll definitely make you be like, what's going on? You get used to it after a while, but I take that to $4.95.
I mean, also I take hallucinogens before I drive. So.
This is going to cost. Maybe it'll straighten it out for you. I don't know. But $4.95 kills that thing, so I have to put it on there.
Yeah. I had it on my Safari 911, and it's
just a little bit, right? It's enough to like drive you nuts.
Yeah, and my E46 BMW has like a very light, like a UV tint on the windshield. It came that way. I didn't put it on. I don't know when it was put on, but I hate it at night.
Yeah.
I the way it bends light just a little bit, but it's because it's tint. It's not even PPF. It's like. It would be such a mess to get it off. I don't even remember. Mine has this weird wave. Just a very slight wave enough to make you like, all right, you know it's there. But whatever. I think what you're doing, you're not like riding somebody forever. No, and I'm not doing track days. It'll probably be fine.
Yeah.
But it's so pretty, and like as you just learned, the car looks completely different with the top up from with the top down.
I mean, I liked it with the top up, but it didn't. It just
it's whatever.
Different folks.
It's like a 356 Speedster with the top up.
Yeah.
It looks kind of like
it's like weird. As soon as you dropped it when we were at that turnaround spot, I was like, whoa, totally different. I should give you that footage too. Maybe put it over this. The footage of him driving with me. I was out the window with the camera.
It was awesome.
I was like, mind you, I had like spit and boogers going like this because it was 60 miles an hour or whatever. But I'm going like, this is the greatest shot I've ever had.
I heard you say something like that.
Yeah.
But like not only it changes the silhouette of the car.
Yeah.
Obviously, the car's meant to be driven with the top down. That's why it has the stupid, weird top and not like the regular top. And also, the color changes in all the different light.
Yeah, it's because the black like draws your eye to it or something. I don't know. I haven't put it into words right now, but as soon as you drop that and we put it in, I don't see black anymore. I just see that color.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, it's black and it's pink and it's just like.
And it changes how the interior looks. Taking the top down changes what you see about the interior because your eye moves in different ways.
Well, luckily you're in California. You're never going to have it up.
Hopefully not.
Anyways.
Yeah. So it's definitely frozen berry metallic with a two-tone red and black interior. It's definitely not for everybody, but I think it's cool. I mean, it's I like a aggressive car, and if 90% of people, or even 80 or 70, go, that's pretty cool, and 30% are like totally offended, I'm like, all right by that. That's fine.
Just put them in the back and say, hey, just wait a second, let me start this thing. Like, all right, never mind.
Well, then you've got the engine, which Rick had sent me a startup video, so I heard it run. I had evidence that it ran, but I first heard it, over an iPhone speaker, which does not remotely do it justice.
And if you do it in here with the metal everywhere.
Well, when you started in here, I was like, oh, what have I gotten into? This is so loud.
It was in here, plus it was cold. That was.
It sounds amazing. I mean, it's not, especially when it's cold in a building like this. Yes, it echoes a lot. But when you are out on the road, it's definitely loud. It's not subtle, but I like that it doesn't just sound like you put an exhaust. I've heard these with exhaust on them. Yeah. And it doesn't sound like that. You hear it and you go, well, that's
a trained ear. You're like, okay, cool. I know that you're trying to fool everybody, but like I can tell that you just
something is different.
That sounds like a race car in pink.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It sounds like a muffled race car.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Like it sounds like a monster is trying to escape from inside of there. And the car we left here, it had 41 miles on it. It now has 59 miles on it. Yeah. So I can't rev it over 5,000. I can't go full throttle. I'm supposed to do 1,000 break-in miles. This is going to be so hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm just going to take a weekend and do the 1,000 miles. Yeah. Go up north or something.
Get
go
oil
visit,
change right after
just to get it out of the way.
Yeah.
But it's going to be so hard. But even you were in it. Even with low revs and not using full throttle, like the torque is.
I think the way to prove that is 6th gear. Whenever you're trying to like prove torque, go in 6th gear and just go and then come up. And yours was like, I'm getting pinned in 6th gear.
It pulls. Yeah, it pulls in 6th. Like this car stock would pull it in 5th or maybe even 4th.
Right.
It's got a ton of power, and I'm so glad I got the comfort seats. This car.
That would have been way uncool.
I've been in an F-Type R for a week. I've done 1,000 miles in it. It's a fine car. A lot of F-Type experience, but ergonomically, to go from that to this, it's just like, it's like just putting on the perfect suit. It's so nice and comfortable and set up for like the F-Type. The steering wheel's a little too far away, and like the bolster's not quite right, and like the way that the thigh bolstering is not quite right. Like this is like.
Yeah, that was our chase vehicle, so I hadn't been in that one.
Yeah.
I could feel just in 2 seconds being like,
not quite there.
I don't know, you're just like, I'm not there yet. When you get into this one, you're like, all right, it's like designed.
Yeah.
Hence Porsche, I'm not telling you anything.
And I'll talk about F-Type R and that event on the next show with Zach. We don't even talk about road and track shit. We can talk about detailing. Also, I gotta. You can't see it in the podcast video. You see it on my Instagram. You'll see it in other videos. Shout out to Dieter, the homie from Porsche Carlsbad. He's a Porsche dealer and he stocks these.
That's awesome.
He takes out the ambers on every customer's sports car and puts in the clear corners, which is honestly, I didn't even really see the amber corners before, but now that I see it with the clear, it makes so much.
That's why I sent you that picture with the two of them. Like,
yeah,
it's not even close. Matter of fact, I gotta call him if he's listening. I need that for the Taycan because I have the orange and looks.
Yeah.
Anyways,
he'll set you up.
That'd be cool.
He saw it on Instagram and he didn't even say you should get these. He was just like, "What is Larry's address? I will overnight them."
It literally came the next day. Yeah. Your license plate and that thing came the next day.
Yes. So I mean, I'm so excited. Cool. We're gonna go to Cars and Coffee with this.
I think
tomorrow.
People are gonna lose their minds. I made some phone calls to see if we can get like pretty good
premium parking.
It's gonna be bananas. It's
we
the last
gotta
one of the
print
year.
the registration forms.
Yeah,
we need those.
You don't need that. I
don't?
I have never once. I didn't even know that you needed to sign up.
Really?
No.
Okay, so they just do it to keep out the riffraff or something.
I think so. I literally have never done it, but maybe tonight I will. But like I've gone
print it anyway. Maybe what if it's a shit show? I don't know. You know the guy though, right?
I know the guy. I'm waiting for his text to come back. Basically, like
Cars and Coffee in New Canaan, which I went to one like a year ago. The one in the downtown, and it was crazy.
Yeah,
it's a big deal here.
This one's usually, dude. Remember, like I'm so jealous of California, where it's like, yeah, let's just go for a drive. Like people like set up like weeks for this, and what's funny is it's like 2.5 hours. It's like, and then everyone's gone. You're like, it's like 9:30. We're leaving now, but we don't get that, and it's the last one. And like, be honest with you, I feel like I want to cut and just go get a jacket. I'm freezing already, but it's like it's cold here.
Go get a jacket.
Yeah, I want to get a jacket.
Go get a jacket.
Yeah, I'm freezing.
You've really leaned into the pull a car out of the woods thing.
Yeah, man.
Is that just what's the most successful on YouTube? They got to see.
Is challenging right now. So yeah, we spend a lot of time trying to figure out what to do. I think there's so much to talk about here, but YouTube is obviously driving everybody crazy because the ad rev doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And I was like very anti doing ads, but it's gotten to the point where it's like either you're gonna have to listen to some ads or I can't continue to film.
Yeah.
Because like the car behind you here, like you know how much it was to flatbed the car. I got to flatbed that car. I got to flatbed it out. Usually when I find it, it's like, the guy's like, get rid of it. You know what I mean? So I got to flatbed, I got to do it. It's like a lot more expensive than it used to be.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of doing ads at this point. But yes, to answer your question, the transformations are what really makes, gets the most views, etc. But I think I may even just go back to like the top 10 steps on how to like maintain your car.
Because the transformations take a lot of time. I mean, even Jordan, like he didn't like my helper. Yeah.
Now he's like, oh, I thought once he started filming, he was like, we got to figure something out. It takes a week dude.
Yeah, that's not
the wheels behind you, they're at Performance right now to drive down a Performance, get them redone.
Yeah.
So I want to make it nice. This guy's literally crying when I took it out. He's going to be in tears when it gets here, and it's not for like.
Well, that's great, but there's no money in that.
I understand, but like.
I mean, I do a car review. If I spend more than 90 minutes on it, it's like not worth doing.
I'm not exaggerating when I say this. It is minimum 4 days of actual working and filming to get the car. Then there's probably 2 days of editing and then 1 day of like the nonsense of like figuring all that stuff. So it's a solid week. So every week, so that's what it's becoming.
Even at 1 million views, that's not good math.
And right now, 1 million views for mine. Remember, my 1 million views versus that's what people don't understand as well. There's the CPMs.
Yeah.
So CPMs I equate it to your hourly rate. So one guy gets $10 an hour, just using round numbers. Another guy gets $20 an hour, right?
Yeah. CPM is dollars per 1,000 views.
Yeah. Cost per milli, dollars per 1,000 views. So if I make $10 and the other person makes $20, usually that person is a workout person or mutual funds or whatever, like money person.
Yeah.
When you come to detailing, who is spending money to put ads in our videos?
Right.
Not really anybody, but if you do like maybe a Doug or somebody where it's like, yes, a brand new Mercedes, like of course BMW is going to buy ads against that or whatever, however their algorithm works. So the CPMs are much higher. What's my point? I'm doing like a week's worth of hardcore, disgusting, get sick labor. There's no complaining here, by the way. It is what it is. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Like I chose this, so I can't complain about it. But it's like,
well, that's.
It's a little crazy that
it's not entirely true. I mean, you can, you and you're not complaining to just talk about the reality of.
No, I just don't want anybody to be like, well, then why are you doing this? It's because I love doing it. It used to be really great back then, but it's not as cool. It's not as you don't make as much ad rev, so that's why I was talking to you off camera.
Us sitting here talking makes more money in an hour.
100%.
We don't have to go to the desert. We don't have to. I don't have to source a car.
I think of you every time I'm like in the thick of it, going like, what? I love doing this.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm not joking. I think of you and I was like, Matt always tells me like, that's insane. What you're doing is insane. So it's a give and take.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, YouTube, it is what it is. I love it. I want to keep doing it, obviously. But I think now I'm going to talk to your guys and be like, I have to, I'm sorry guys, I got to put an ad on it because you can't make $800 after a week.
But what would happen is 7 people will complain in the comments.
About what?
About there being an ad. That's what'll happen. But the data will show no one else cares.
Yeah.
It's just, they're just used. For a long time, I was like too proud to do it.
I'm right there.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm not going to do that.
Pride and money are polar opposites.
Well, but it's not so much that. It's like I can't sustain doing this forever. Because you know why? The biggest cost is me being pulled away from actually designing new products, as corny as that sounds.
That's why this is the problem for anybody. I mean, look, fortunately, someone will pay you to detail their car.
Correct.
If you want to focus on that.
I could do that all day.
Someone will pay you for this bottle of
juice,
whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Right? And you can make more of those and improve those. And it's hard to sell things, but like you can do that. But the problem with and I can build more buildings and I can park more cars. But for anyone, especially the young, energetic content creator who puts all their eggs in one basket, whether it's YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, whatever it is, and eventually that algorithm and platform will turn against your interests. And what are you going to do then?
I think of it as you're not in control.
You're not.
Like, just be aware of that. Like, I know getting into the YouTube, you're not in control. I try to like control as much as I possibly can, but
and you do what you can, but
I mean, and overall, my videos are doing well. Obviously, we watch everybody. They're doing well in comparison, but I think YouTube as a whole, like the tide just like went out.
Sure.
Because I think TikTok, and I mean, there's 1,000 reasons for it.
Sure.
Thus,
TikTok is destroying YouTube.
Yeah.
Watch time and engagement and all that stuff.
You want to hear the crazy part is when I shot the Lamborghini video at the barn find with Vinny.
With
Vinny
the
just texted me. I think he was texting you, but he texted me some weird thing. But anyhow, he may be texting you.
We'll ignore that until we're done.
Yeah. So a dude on TikTok takes all of my videos. Brilliant, by the way. Brilliant. It's illegal, but it's brilliant. He takes all of my videos and cuts them into 3 segments. Each one of his like 2-minute segments. So just take my video, cut it into thirds, puts it up there. Each one of those thirds gets between 500 and 1 million views. On TikTok.
And can you report this person?
We did, but then I had to go into my copyright and my USPTO, United States Patent and Trademark Office. I had to go in, get my actual trademark thing, submit it through their system, and unlike YouTube, where YouTube has like a thing, they take it down immediately, and they're like, "You two idiots, figure it out." That kind of thing. TikTok, it was just like, I'm still going through the legal process, and it's like, that's my face.
Could it be that IP law in China is not so?
Apparently not.
Yeah.
I'm seriously fighting with that. And if you look at his thing, he's still up, and it's every one of my videos 3 things. But
what is his channel called? Like Ammo something?
No,
something?
it's like in something. It's some random name.
Maybe you could just outdo him. Maybe you could do the exact same thing with your videos, but better.
So you know me, I'm always like ready for whatever. I looked at him and I said, you know what? That's a brilliant lesson. I'm going to try to do my best to take him down, but let's make lemonade out of this. I was like, the guy is destroying my own videos by stealing mine.
Yeah.
Why don't we just do that?
Yeah.
So we're starting to shift more towards TikTok to be able to stay relevant.
I mean, the transformation stuff is good TikTok content, probably.
Yes.
Not a 20-minute video about it, but you make the 90-second version or whatever, and you probably get people's attention that way.
To your point on the last thing, we are desperately, and I would love to hear your opinions on it because they're usually right, as to we are getting sucked down a rabbit hole with these cars, and it's this passion and love, blah, blah, versus money versus like, hey, is it actually helping?
You mean with the transformation cars?
Yeah, man, it's getting to the point like you and I are not 25 anymore, by the way, right? And then we have these cars, like it's a lot of work for almost no money now, and I'm not crying about it. I'm just being pure factual. That like, what do I do now? I have 2.2 million subscribers.
Can you buy them and then sell them?
That's exactly what we talked about before. I'm trying to buy them, but I'm trying to do it 100% legal. You know, like everything with me has to be like 100% legal.
Well, so then you have to be a dealer.
It's been 2 years of me trying to get.
Well, I'm a dealer. Maybe I'll buy them.
Thanks.
I'll buy them and cut you in.
Exactly. So I'm trying to figure that whole process out because I want to at least make some cut on the.
Yeah.
Because
if you as private citizen have to buy them, then now you have to pay registration fees, and there goes all the.
I gotta wait in line.
Yeah.
Like,
No, you can't do that.
So I was thinking, hey, if I can squeeze $2,000 or $3,000 on every one that I sell, it makes sense. I break even. Everything's great. So I can't do that. That's why I asked you 20 minutes ago. Hey, can I talk to your people about advertising?
I mean, do some fucking ads. So your pride is for suckers.
It's not even pride. It's like, do you want to watch more videos? Yeah. I literally can't survive anymore with this kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's shitty. Very, very shitty.
I think it's across the board. Are you seeing it on your channel?
Yeah. Oh, we're getting hammered. Yeah. We're getting fucking hammered.
We're making like $600 a week. You know,
we're getting hammered. Yeah. And
it's bad.
Fortunately, the podcast is pretty good. And you know, I park cars. and I have a masthead job at a magazine. You know, and so I have 7 fucking gigs.
Do you remember?
So that's what I do about it.
Do you remember when Emil, who I don't know where he is now, is he still in jail?
He's on parole. He's out of prison.
So we're in.
Someone just asked me about that. Is that guy still in jail?
Yeah. So we're sitting in the downtown office. I forget where it was, somewhere on the west side. 100 years ago, Thad was there. Do you remember with that? I don't know. Musto, everybody was there.
Yeah, when it was Alex Roy or someone got up and fucking just shat in his mouth.
No.
That was epic.
No, Thad got up and said like, we want to make more money on YouTube. This is ridiculous. We're filming. We're doing this. Blah 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 blah. And I remember this moment.
I don't remember it specifically, but go on.
He stood up. Believe me. And then Emil got up and he put his leg on the chair, on the table, and he put his hand down like this. I never forget it because I was like right there, and he goes, Thad, you want to make more money? He goes, get out of YouTube. Like that, and I went like, because I was like excited. It was my first year of the Drive channel. I was
get out of YouTube and get into embezzlement. All the money. I'm telling you, you could do great. This is Emil's advice. You could do great if all you got to do, you make fake companies, and then you steal from your employer and use that money to pay yourself. Do you know how dope your cars could be for 3 years if you do that? Yeah. You just got to do a little time, but it's all right.
When you get out, everything.
You'll never be able to vote again. Yeah. But the money is super, super above average.
Has anyone like tracked him down to try to get like an interview or something? Oh, I would love to see him.
He did crimes. He went to prison. The fuck do I care about him?
Man, I would love to see him.
I don't give a fuck about him.
He was an interesting character.
Yeah.
Anywho,
let's talk about something a little more positive. Give us the roundabouts update on your personal cars. The 964 is out there.
Yeah.
Looking sharp.
I
looks
took that
good
to
as
Lime
ever.
Rock on Wednesday.
Dude, Lime Rock was killer this week. I was just there.
It's nice. You were there on Thursday or Friday. I was there like one day out before you.
Thursday.
I was there Wednesday.
Yeah.
With the PEC group.
The track felt really, really nice.
Great.
Beautiful place.
They tightened it up. There's new management.
And we ran Miatas on the autocross. They call it the proving grounds now.
That's where we did the Taycans. They don't let the Taycans out there.
Oh, they don't?
Because they can't charge them.
Oh, they can't charge them quick enough?
They would just like drain all the batteries.
No, we did a competition with all of we were doing this road and track. It was called Hudson Quattrocento. So basically the idea is, and I want to come back to the 964, but the idea is basically when journalists go on press trips and Car of the Year and stuff like that, it's this amazing experience. So we put together these ways that readers can, for money, experience that. So the staff of the magazine is there in press cars. You guys, meaning the guests, bring their own cars, but it's hotels, it's fine dining, it's track time, we go to a car museum, and it's set up all fucking nice.
You guys are supposed to come here.
We were going to come here, but there's no way we could have gotten 40 people here.
Yeah.
But we're trying to figure out what to do for next year. So upcoming events, by the way, experiences.roadandtrack.com. We've got Route to Vine in February, which is Northern California. We've got the Bourbon Trail, Great Smoky Mountains Bourbon Trail, that's coming up in the summer, early summer. And then we've got Road to the Quail, I think it's called. It's LA to the Quail, and include during Car Week, obviously, and includes passes to the Quail and hospitality. It's gonna be fire, and I'm making the routes for all of those.
That's nice.
That's my job.
How about that? That's harkening back to
dude,
New York Motor Club.
Of course, when we used to make the New York Motor Club routes, like when I tell them about how I make routes. They're like, why are you so good at this? And I'm like, I'm trained in this. I'm literally trained in this. It's like, and there's a science to making routes for group driving, and like, I'm very good at it.
No,
like,
you did all of
it.
And
so I'm doing it. I'm doing that now as a fucking for a magazine, which rules. So anyway, doesn't it circle back around? Nicey nice, right? And so anyway, we were at Lime Rock, and in the fall, the colors being great. How is that thing on track?
It's still great. I mean, I wish I drove it more than drive it more than I do. But
don't look at the car, look at the mic, because your voice will go away from the mic if you do that. You're not wearing a lav.
This is true. I like it. I love it. The car's great. I just I don't drive it as much as I'm shooting YouTube videos.
Are you still happy you got the 4-wheel drive one? Because that's set up about as good as a 4-wheel drive one can be.
About as good as it can be. I've driven multiple 964s in the probably last year or so, and that one still is faster and handles better.
Well, it's a 3.8 motor, right? It's like a hot motor, and it's.
I drove the RWB a couple weeks ago.
Oh, really? How was that?
That was a bag of rocks.
Terrible.
Yeah, it was cool.
Was it set up right? It wasn't? No. It was just the body?
It was just the body, and then inside everything was like falling apart. Like when you turn, the actual seat moved. And the owner knew that, and he's like having a bike. In fact, his super bike's behind us right now. But he's a super cool guy, etc. The difference is that is so dialed in, it's perfect. And the fact that the suspension is actually encouraging oversteer.
Does it do it now?
Well, if I really...
Because I drove it 6 years ago. Yeah. It was pretty decent for what it was.
But it didn't have
It was a little pushy, but it was before you had the JRZs.
Right.
Yeah.
So we dialed it out so that, it's the only Porsche on the planet really that's dialed in.
We were just talking, I was going back and forth with people at Twitter because there's an all-wheel, a 964 C4 based Singer right now that somebody had built, drove it 500 miles and is now selling it. And I thought it was weird to do a Singer, a 4-season Singer, and then try and sell it because it costs probably more to go in.
Sure.
And you're going to get less on the back end. And if you're not driving it in 4 seasons, really, it
doesn't make sense.
It kind of takes away from some of the purity. And my experience, a lot of that is based on your car, which is like the most dialed in C4.
Yeah.
Singer's probably pretty dialed in, but and it's still...
I've driven a Singer, and it's not miles ahead of that.
Really?
It's just not.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nicer, and you got all the fancy stuff or whatever, but it's not like...
Well, that's got the motor that the early Singers came with, pretty much.
But to answer your question, if I could push a button, I would go with 2-wheel.
But converting it is not so simple. You don't just take the shit out. It's like a whole thing,
no,
right?
Like there's you can pop the axles out.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
That's what people are saying. You really can't do that.
No, there were people that tried to be like, all you do is
pop the axles out. Like, nah, it doesn't work
don't.
that way. Like the whole system, the computer system will,
get
weird
fucked up.
Yeah. So, but I still love that one. The R8.
You got a lot of miles on that, right?
No, I have 21,000.
Oh, I thought you drove more.
I got it with 12. It's 21,000. Again,
good car.
It's a great car, but with the Taycan is almost pushing 15,000.
But you drive to your clients in Long Island all the time.
All the time. I am like.
Did you? So when you
first changed tires,
I think last time on the show we were doing the math of whether you could make it from here to there and back.
Yes.
So what does your commute look like when you have to go out to the end of Long Island from Danbury in an electric car?
Charge it 100% at my house.
You got a level 2 at your house? Mm-hmm. Okay. You got a level 2 here?
Right there, over there.
Where?
Right by, see where the red cord is?
Oh, yeah.
There's one right in that socket. Cool. You can't see it behind the wall, behind the thing. So, I can get, from my house with 100%, I arrive at my client's house at 39%.
Okay.
And then what I do is, I got an electrician to rig, give me a second, I can go out and show it to you. I got him to rig this box and a cord that goes in, and we can change the plugs. I have multiple plugs. So I basically when I get my client's house, I unplug his compressor.
His washing machine. Oh, his air compressor.
Air compressor. I plug this in. It runs a box down. Then the box.
And that's a 220 compressor. Okay, so you have a portable level 2 charger.
Yeah.
Okay, and so you're there for like 8 hours.
If I'm there for 6. I have to be there for like a little bit over 5.5, 6 hours, and then I don't have to stop on the way home.
So you're back up to like 60% or something.
I have to be. You're asking a nerd a question. I have to be above 76% for it to not get like when I get
to not
home,
have to charge.
I have like 6 or 7%, and the car is like going.
Really?
It's like freaking out.
Really?
And then what happens is, if you didn't know this, you're not gonna, obviously you don't have it on that one, but the screen will go. It'll go to
power
if you're watching.
save mode?
No, it'll go to your directions.
Your GPS.
Yeah, GPS, and it'll take you some wild route to get you
to a charger.
Even though you're 2 miles away from your house. It's I'm like what is going on? I didn't push that button. Funny. It like freaks out.
When I drove the Lucid Air and I drove it to Phoenix and back. Lucid's got a lot of range. If you pussyfoot it, it's like a 525 mile range. It's an enormous battery. But what I like about the Lucid is you could do 300 miles, a real 300 miles at 90 miles an hour.
Really?
Now that I'm into.
Yeah.
But coming back from Phoenix, what I didn't calculate was a 30 mile an hour headwind.
Really?
So it's
struggling.
So it's coming off. The range is coming off quickly.
If you put the air conditioner on that thing, like as soon as you push the on button, you'll see it go. Bloop,
so what I was getting at was when I got down to below 20 miles of range, and I was gonna make it. The charger, the fast charger, was like 8 miles away, and I had 20 miles of range left. But it's coming off. It's coming off 2 for 1.
Yeah.
Straight up 2 for 1. It's like 100 degrees outside. It's a desert, and this headwind, it's coming off. When you get below 20 miles, it cuts off the climate control.
Really?
Off. And we're in the desert. Like coming back from Pearl Jam, and it turns out I also, by the way, had COVID. So I had gotten COVID, and I'm coming back from this.
At the Pearl Jam show?
No, I got it. I was exposed to it from Hannah right before the show. Before I went to go to the show, I was I felt fine, but I was cautious. So my friend Marco from TLG came with me. So I actually wore a mask in the car with him, just in case. Yeah. Wore a mask at the show.
That's smart.
And as soon as we got up the next morning to drive home, I started to get a headache, and I was like, I feel like, and I started like get the little tingle in the throat, and I was like, I feel like this is coming. So anyway, I wasn't feeling great to begin with, and now the air conditioning's cut off.
This is like incubating this whole thing.
And I feel like the fucking miles are coming off.
Yeah, your heart's pounding or something.
I got to the charger with 4 miles left, and in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, but the question is, what happens when it runs out? Like nobody's answered that before. Like what happens?
Got a flatbed. It's done.
That's straight up flatbed.
Oh yeah. They can't bring. They're not going to bring a generator.
That's why I said like you don't have give me a 5 miler.
Someone has developed a truck that is a battery that can provide a level 2 charge from a truck, right?
Yeah.
That and like the Ford Lightning, you can use a Ford Lightning to charge another electric car.
Really?
Yeah. It has a if you get the Ford Lightning with the forget what it's called, but like the big battery pack, like the professional,
the one they show in the commercial
with the contractor, where you can plug a fucking power saw.
I'm supposed to do a video in the next couple of weeks where I detail the car from the car.
Yeah. We made a whole podcast studio, like multi-camera rig, and it was very cool. But you can charge another. They trolled Tesla because it comes with an adapter, so you could charge a Tesla with the Lightning.
That's cool.
Yeah. So anyway, that you could do that, but fundamentally the answer is flatbed. Wow. That's basically what happened.
Yeah.
So anyway, you got to get it to 76%, and then you can get it home.
76%, and then I get home, everything is fine. But this is exclusive here. I had to bring the car back in for 5 weeks. I'm sure somebody's going to freak out right now. I had the craziest squeak in my seat where they had to remove the seat, disassemble the seat, so it's in pieces now. Mm-hmm. Then they put it back together, sat in it, still did it. Remove the seat, disassemble the seat, then rip the covers off the seat, and had to like find and shave off little pieces, put it back in, put it back. Perfect. I get in the car, I'm like, no, dude, I'm not. It's not like it's. I'm like, and they said, hey, just change the seat back. And I was like, unacceptable.
Yeah.
Unacceptable. I'm not changing. Like, you want me to sit like this for the rest of my days in this car?
Yeah.
I was like, no, I want it in this position.
My $110,000 luxury car?
Yeah, no, I got to like sit like this to like,
yeah.
no. Because when I first went in, because this is the third time I went, when I first went in, the guy goes like this. He goes, how about now? I was like, did you just move my seat as the solution? My head exploded.
No, yeah.
So now I have a Porsche Tech, and my dealer's like, we've had like one other time they came in for like a 918 issue or whatever. They're coming in for this one because now they're finding that it's actually happening on a bunch of
other cars.
So they're making a recall thing or whatever they're doing. So it was intense. But on that note, I brought it in, and they did the upgrade. When I did the upgrade, I am telling you right now, I've been driving cars, not as much as you, but enough to have a butt dyno. The car is faster. The acceleration is faster. The way it hops on and delivers the power.
And is the range better too?
Here's the thing: I had to give them the charger. The charger has to get updated to be able to get 31 more miles, from what I'm reading, on the charger, which would change my.
Wait, you had to give them your homemade shit?
No.
The Porsche portable charger.
Yeah, the Porsche thing that you put in your house. And I gave it to him, and they didn't have the update then. So I don't have the 31 miles, which is funny because most people are like, who cares about 31 miles? For me, it's like critical. Otherwise, I'm like sitting there like.
For you, it's like an hour and a half of sitting on a charger.
Yeah. Or I got to stop. There's one charger in Long Island at a Sam's Club. And so I sit there, and 20 minutes you're fine, but it's like the
is it
points.
A 350?
Yeah.
A 350 or 150?
No, it's whatever the big one is, not
the 350.
Not the one that's like the super high one. I forget it.
That's 350.
I don't think there are 350s.
There's a couple in LA, but that one that I went to in the Lucid with 4 miles left was the 350. Yes, but I've only ever
was it like this?
It's the double.
No, but was the cord this big?
The cord is heavy duty.
Because the cord in a 150 is like this, right?
Right.
But in a 300, it's got to be.
It's liquid cooled. The cords are liquid cooled. That's why they have actual cooling sleeves.
Well, I went to the Porsche dealer. They said when they got Taycans that came out, they said that they had to get the town to put the thing in there.
Yeah.
$500,000 to put that. Did you know that?
I know it because when I bought my new building, I said, all right, I now have an opportunity to put in. Because my new building has a ton of power.
Right.
My current building in Playa Vista is a 400 amp circuit.
The one that I've been in.
The one you've been in.
You have another one that's
400 amps. I bought a new building.
Right.
We're in construction right now. It has a 1600 amp circuit.
Wow.
Because it was an electroplating factory.
Oh, so it did.
So it has the fucking most power. That's why I had to get into a bidding war with all the ganja growers. Because they want to run 1,000 sodium halide lights in there. So I had to beat these fucking guys out for this building, but now I got all the power in the world. So I go, well, let's use this power. Let's get a 50 kilowatt, and it was $80,000.
Wow.
To get a 50. Yeah. Forget a fucking 150 or a 350.
All right, so they weren't. I was like,
no, they weren't fucking around. No, they were not fucking around. No.
Wow.
And there's a massive infrastructure thing with it. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's the whole thing.
Nonetheless, I love the Taycan, but. Yeah.
They're lovely driving and owning one.
I could put my kid in the back at grocery. Like we drive it daily.
Yeah.
It's a unbelievable car. I've never been in a car that has that much power. Even mine's the base kind of cheap model, whatever you want to call it. It's lightning, umpteen times faster than any car that I own.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
Electric power is wild.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a lot. Larry has to get home and go to dinner with his family.
I do have a question for you though.
Yeah.
I'm having a problem with, I took the lowering suspension off the car because it was just like, it's too low and my teeth were rattling and whatever.
Yeah. Don't lower your luxury cars.
No, it's stupid. I admit that was dumb, right? Very, very not cool. So I put it back to normal. My question to you is, in a Porsche, I want to drive in like, driving off-road mode,
high mode,
because it's just like I'm driving a Cadillac. When I'm on 495, like I don't care, nobody's looking at me. It's not at a show, I don't care. But when I go at speed, it shoots it all the way back down to low.
Aerodynamics.
But like,
it makes a big difference in the range.
I understand. Oh, in the range.
The range, yeah.
But I'm saying, what if you were going off-road?
Yeah, but at high speed.
It's an off-road car and at high speed. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just want to like float sometimes.
I mean, does someone not make an override tune for that?
I don't know, but every time you go over 50, it's like 50 miles an hour, it'll kick you down one. 60 miles an hour, kick you down.
Sure, it's definitely for efficiency, as well as performance. But if you're in like comfort mode and it still does it, it's efficiency. for sure.
And that's what it does. It's been like a thing.
There's probably a way around it,
Yeah.
but aftermarket.
I didn't know if you knew it. We're like, oh yeah.
No, not offhand, but it's probably for efficiency.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of comments on the Patreon. I have not previewed them because we were out fucking around with strawberry shortcake over here. So I'll do my best. I don't know if that name is going to stick.
Footage too.
We did for Larry's channel.
Yeah.
And we're gonna obviously, I'm gonna make a video with it when I get it home. But we're in Connecticut right now. Larry has to finish, and then it's got to go on a truck and come back to LA.
It's got to go to Demand first, though. Right?
Demand has to do a few more development miles, refine the tune just a little bit. He might even be annoyed if he found out I drove it, because it's
he
not.
He won't find out until the video goes.
He'll find out. He'll find out. I put it on.
This is not going to be out for like 2 weeks.
I put pictures on Instagram. He'll find out. But I don't. My car. Yeah. No, it's fine. But
we didn't do anything crazy.
No, and it's because it has miles. I couldn't go. I didn't go full throttle. All I did was hear the exhaust.
I was watching you. You went up to 4,000.
Hear the exhaust and confirm that my seat choice was excellent, and that I should not have gotten the RS because the ride around here, your roads, that highway was lovely, but the roads here, the suspension is excellent. Okay, lots from the Patreon, of course. Patreon.com/The Smoking Tire Podcast. Plans starting at just $3 a month. Get the show early, get the show live, although not right now because I can't broadcast live on this setup. Get the show early, get the show live, ask questions of our guests, etc. And of course, support the program at patreon.com/The Smoking Tire Podcast. And I'm not going to get to every single one of these questions, but
how many questions?
There's 28. That's why we're not going to get to every single one. I'm gonna choose ones I think are great. Malik Barnett says, Larry, do you have any tips on taking care of paint and undercarriages in harsh New York and Connecticut winters?
Painted undercarriage is what you said?
Paint and undercarriages.
Oh, got it. And harsh New York. Well, like everything else, maintenance is key, meaning whether you put it on once to go to the gym and work out one time, that kind of thing. Like you got to go to the gym on a regular basis. Same thing with your car. So you need to clean it on a regular basis. In that case, if he's in New York City, he's going to have to use probably pressure washer water kind of thing. He's not going to be able to wash it, is what I'm saying, on a regular basis. But you can go through those ones that you shoot water underneath. Yeah. That would be it.
You know, the cheap solution, you get one of them sprinklers that does this. It's not a lot of power, but like, it's shockingly effective. Yeah. You get one of the sprinklers that oscillates, just shove that thing under the car, run it for 10 minutes, move it, run it for 10 minutes, move it, run it for 10 minutes. It gets her done.
It'll work. So I would put a coating on the car, protection beforehand, and then we have a product specifically made for New York City stuff when I was stuck in areas where you couldn't have water, called Frothy. You can frothy it down, basically wash it without any water safely, and protect it. It's basically, it's a maintenance thing. You just can't like set it and forget it. You gotta keep up with it.
Lucas Sewar, my car gets shit on by birds at work a lot.
That's bad.
What can I carry in the car to wipe the poop off reasonably quickly, as I don't have too much time to wash the car?
All right, so Frothy is going to be just what we talked about before.
Of course, you get these products at ammonyc.com.
Yeah, of course. And again, I'm talking about the ones that I know, so I'm trying to tell you. Frothy, wipe it down with a microfiber towel. But the whole thing about bird poo is speed. If you let it sit there, I don't care what, Miracle Juice is not going to get it out. So either Frothy, which is that with the canister, or you can use Spit, which is a lubricant. But either, whatever, water, spit on it. I don't care. You got to get that off
liquid
faster than not. And the more lubrication that you have, the better off you're going to be.
Yeah. Mr. Nailhead, I hope this isn't too repetitive. I'm one of those people that very rarely washes their car. What's the best way to remove a year's worth of dirt and grime without scratching the paint all up?
This is like one of those guys that's like, I got to go to a wedding. I haven't been to the gym in like 5 years. You know what I mean? Like, what do I do before I go, like 10 minutes before? You need as much water as humanly possible in that particular case. So I would highly encourage you to use lots and lots of water, lots of soap, i.e. lubrication, and wash it as you normally would. It wouldn't be a huge difference between 1 year of no washing and 1 week of washing, other than the fact that you have more little rocks on your paint.
And if you're really going to not wash it that often, like a coating, if that one time you do it, maybe you go with the Ammo Reflex.
Yeah, like if he's gonna go
wax
all in,
it like a minimum.
Yeah, if you're gonna go all in that one time, like spend the day and then not look at it for the year, I highly discourage that. But it's better than nothing.
Yeah. A couple things we've covered already. Eric says, Larry, any experience with modern airstreams I understand it's an automotive clear coat, but I don't know how tough it is. Any product recommendations to make it easier to knock dust back after trips?
Well, if it's automotive clear,
Are airstreams cleared?
No,
I thought they're just polished aluminum.
That's my understanding. But if he's saying that they're cleared, so if they're polished aluminum, we have a different discussion. If they're cleared, you're gonna treat them just like paint.
Just like a car.
Just like a normal car.
Soap and water.
Soap, wash, etc. If they're dusty, you can hit it with spray wax, etc.
Yeah. Okay. All the Beretta GTZs. Great username. You guys have both built custom high-end commercial garages. Based on your experience, what are must-have or preferred features for a residential detached garage build for 4 cars with lift, storage, and workshop?
So the question is, what's the most important?
Built home garage, dope home garage. What needs to be there? Built these cabinetry that's built in from Moduline. I have a similar at mine. Moduline makes great cabinetry.
Yeah, they're top of the line.
They're expensive, but once they're built-ins, like pretty dope. Yeah. Great lighting.
Great lighting for sure. I would spend money on the floor.
Yeah.
This is my 4th floor. So that's huge for someone. If you're going to be more focused on like washing and that's like a thing that you care about, having warm water is like...
it doesn't matter as much for me in California because it doesn't get that cold.
Yeah, but
here warm water is nice. Outlets everywhere.
I also really like, if you can see behind here, I keep moving, sorry, the central vacs that are in the wall.
Oh, yeah.
That was like the least amount of money I spent on this whole entire... $1,500.
For central vacuum in the wall? That rules.
And the guy comes and maintains it once a year.
Really?
Yeah, and he's the nicest guy in the world.
That's
It's
awesome.
like, of all the things in here...
That's awesome.
Just to install those lights was $5,000.
Yeah, the lights are expensive.
Yeah,
Central vacuum is awesome.
For the win.
Central compressed air. I mean, or at the very least, like a proper compressor and a very long hose.
I would say everybody asked me like, hey, if they said, hey, Larry, what's the number one tool? It's compressed air.
Yeah.
Outside, inside, polishing, number one. So I would say have plenty of compressed air, and if you can have it up on top, you see how I have 6 reels here?
Yeah.
That's
and
nice.
A nice rolling cart. So that you can bring the things you need
back
to
there.
where you're
That was
working.
like a $200 cart that I was like annoyed to pay for.
Yeah.
I can't function without it.
Yeah. We use our rolling cart like constantly.
Yeah.
And a floor squeegee. John Unterhaller. Larry, I followed your channel for a while, but I missed the part where you switched from a wash mitt to microfiber towels for washing the car. Can you explain the change?
Yes, I can. I like that question. That's my favorite question so far. So I'm switching over to microfiber towels for multiple reasons, but the main one is when you use a microfiber towel, I tend to open up my drawer after it's cleaned and washed and folded, and I take it up and it's brand new, and I throw it in the bucket and I wash it. I do the wash, etc., and I can stick 4 or 5 in there. Who cares?
Yeah.
And I throw it in the sink, and when I'm done, and then I take it from the sink and put it in the washing machine. I told you the whole story because I only use the towel like 3-4 times.
And then it's in the garbage.
If you have a wash mitt, you're like...
You mentally just keep it longer.
Right. You're like, it's a wash mitt. I paid like, $15. I'm making that number.
Yeah.
And I gotta like, I'm gonna clean it, right, and blow it off. I'm like, why? I don't have this time anymore.
Yeah.
Like, and then in theory, I would say a half step before I would take those wash mitts and throw them in the wash.
Yeah.
Then dry them, and then the fur becomes all like matted and everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what am I? Like, what? Just use microfiber towel. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just smaller. You know what I mean? It's smaller fibers. So if you put 5 or 6 of them in there, who cares? And then there's just no way that you're going to get cross contamination. So I don't take the wash mitt and dunk it in a rinse thing anymore. So it's easier, less buckets to fill.
That's the one
safer.
Bucket system.
It's the one. That's what I'm saying. It's the one bucket system now, and it's like the one towel system. I'm using it once. So
I've never thought of the science, but I just did that. Like when we started using the shop, I was like, when I wash my car, because I still do wash my own cars. I unless I have Derek. And if I got a 6-hour job for Derek, and I'm like, Derek, guess what? You're doing 90 on my car after you're done. I don't forego a Derek fucking Bemis wash.
Derek is the man.
Yeah, Derek is the West Coast Larry. He's not a content
with better hair though.
He's not. He's got great hair. He's not a content creator, but if you need someone to fucking unfuck your shit,
I send
Derek
people
is the
to
guy
him all the time.
Yeah, he's the guy.
He's the best.
But yeah, I just started washing. I'll dump 5 microfibers in the bucket, fucking, and then in the sink.
Argue with
I
that
don't.
logic.
I don't redunk a bucket.
It's
redunk a microfiber.
It's simple.
Yeah.
Like,
Maybe I'll use it for the wheels afterwards. Maybe once I do the body,
Right.
I'll fucking use that microfiber on the wheels.
No,
Maybe.
I have mine as blue towels.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. We're arguing about the same thing. Good question.
Let's see. Micah, we might come back to that. We've already covered a lot of funny stories from younger years with us. Let's see.
I thought.
Okay. All right. Here we go. William Kraft used white bathroom caulk to surround the outer windows of my Ford Ranger as a drunken attempt to stop a rainwater leak. 2 years later, my truck still looks like a money shot. How do I get the bathroom caulk off my paint without scratching the hell out of it? Bathroom caulk. Yikes.
Get sober.
What rehab?
I don't even know how to answer that. Scrape it off or something. Is it on the glass? Is it on the? There's like 50.
It's on the fucking. He said paint. Caulk from the paint without scratching the hell out of it.
Caulk from the paint. He's probably gonna have to use a plastic razor blade and try to scrape that off. And it's like, yeah, you're gonna scratch your paint a little bit, and then you have to go back in and polish it afterwards. But it's not a job for some, like you could damage your paint, so like don't take that advice.
It's a 98 Ford Ranger. Find another door. I mean, honestly, I'd find another fucking door. I'd try to find another door first if I could. That's gonna be. That's a shitty.
That's gonna be an issue.
Don't drunkenly take bathroom products to your car. That's a fucking bad look.
I don't understand how that stopped the leak. Like the door was leaking.
He was just the weather stripping probably was leaking, and he was like, "Fuck this!" Fucking bathroom caulked it.
But what happens when he opens the?
Who even knows if the window opens?
Like the window opens, like
yeah,
you got caulking on.
I don't know. It's so terrible. Yeah. James Cowley, how much value is there in doing a paint? We already sort of talked about this, but it's not the same. In doing a paint correction on a brand new non-luxury car that will be parked outside. I have a white Subaru on order, and I'm considering paint correction and ceramic coating.
Number one, Subaru makes really good paint. Like
really?
Shockingly good paint.
Really?
Like just probably right in the same conversation as Porsche.
Really?
It's the weirdest thing.
How about that?
Isn't that weird?
That's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Yeah. We just love them. Donate today. So, he may not need it. So, like when people say, I have to go to the emergency room every Tuesday. It's like, why? Did you get hurt? Like, no, I just go. That's kind of what he's saying in that one. So, if it needs it, then polish it out. But likely it doesn't need it. And if he is going to do a coating on it, then he probably wants it in good condition. So, if it's already in good condition, which I would imagine it is, plus it's white.
But if it's white, you don't need to do the correction. You can pretty much just wash it, dry it, and do the coating.
Yes, if it's like you shine a light on it, it's like, oh my gosh, and it drives you crazy, then do it. But if all the cars that you could get away with, that's probably one that you could get away with.
This is a short answer. I mean,
no.
Alex, I mean, their answer is there's no easy answer. Alex Hay wants an easy way to clean up the interior of a car that I don't take very good care of. I mean, I'll just tell you, there's a reason it's called detailing. There's no like it takes time and it takes little fucking brushes.
Like we talked about before, it takes me a week to do one car. Like
little brushes and like
the way that he could do it. I'll give him an answer. It's not
have somebody else do it.
Well, that's true.
Pay somebody else.
No, if he had compressed air, just go in there, put a mask on, and just compress everything and
blast
just blow it all over the place.
That's not a bad idea,
right?
It's not a bad idea. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Miguel Flores, is there the best over-the-counter DIY headlight restoration kit?
Oh my gosh!
For the yellowing headlights.
There's like a gazillion of them.
Are they all pretty decent? Is there
They're
one
all pretty decent.
The
difference between headlight restoration is the process to protect it afterwards. That's where you start separating the men from the boys kind of thing. Where if you're going to polish the paint out, polish the headlight out, there's really two options. There's one where you can do it with with pads and a hand machine, or you can bump it up and do sandpaper. Sandpaper is the better way to do it. It's like faster and easier, but it scares people. So the market said, it scares people. Let's give them a hand tool and they'll feel more comfortable. So those are the two like repair things. But then when you go to actually protecting it, there's ones in an aerosol can and there's ones that are hand applied, cream applied. If yours doesn't come with some sort of super duper, 5-year protection with the stuff that you're putting on there, then you got to get rid of it. So I can't speak to which ones are going to be the best. There's a million of them, but make sure after you do that, you have to put protection and follow those directions and perfectly. Otherwise, you're going to sand it again in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Greg Montalbano, would you consider using an undercarriage pressure washer attachment? Are they worth it or risky for an average car? Is it just? I guess it just like bends the flow so you can get under the car.
Yeah, there's like a thing that you can plug in, and it's like a
broom that goes under there.
It's flat. It's like this, and it's got things put up. In terms of
danger, it's like a better version of my sprinkler thing.
Right, it's just a more compressed version.
Oh, cool.
Is it dangerous? No. Would I use it? Sure, but I'd be honest with you. I like bend down on my knee and go like this.
Yeah, you could do the same thing with the regular tool, pretty much.
It might be cooler.
Kleiner GTI has a very wordy question, but the long and short of it is, he's concerned about removing 14-year-old PPF from the front end of his car.
He should be.
He
should be very.
His question is, how tricky is that? And having done it a bunch at our shop, we have to have Derek do it. It's his least favorite thing to do. It costs a fortune.
It's a nightmare.
When I tell people that to remove, clear bra from the first foot of their car is going to be $2,500 or $3,000, and then we have to do a correction,
right.
and paint might come off. They're like, what? Yeah. And it's like, no, yeah. That's
when it's more than 10 years old, that's when I start bumping up pricing. Like, hey, man, it's nothing personal. Like, if I do like this, like, you go take it off and I'll replace it.
Yeah.
But, like, you have to, in your case, I think you're crazy for doing it. But if you are going to try, you have to use boiling water. And that is the prerequisite of that is making sure your paint's not going to get damaged from that.
Yeah.
So you have to understand, like, when it's not, you got to be a little bit of an expert to understand that part.
Derek uses an electric tea kettle.
I have two of them right there.
Yeah.
I use electric tea kettle. I go like this.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, another trick for this guy is you take a microfiber towel, put the microfiber towel on the spot that you're working, then put the water on it so that it doesn't evaporate because the water doesn't come down, so it stays warm. Then you slide it real quick.
Yeah.
And then the problem is you can't have gloves on.
Yeah.
And then you pull just a little bit, and then you take and you pour as you. For this guy,
it's the worst thing you could ever do.
Your fingertips burn, and then
would you rather pull dead rats out of glove boxes?
100%. I'd rather polish the entire car, pull dead rats, and do the interior than pull that off. And I'm not like saying that for a podcast. Like I can't stand it.
I've watched it done. It's the worst thing you could do.
You ever see one of the shark fins on like an old Porsche that's like. It's crackled.
Yeah.
They're like, how much to take that off? I'm like, I'm booked forever. Like, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't. I don't have any time for that.
Alejandro says, why do you test drive the car after you clean them? Wouldn't it be better to go for a joyride first than clean the car? The car doesn't look good dirty for the B-roll, Alejandro. The car you have to show the clean car. That's the reward.
Yeah, I've had people actually say that I get his point, but I'm also like making a YouTube video. I don't know.
Some people clean the car before they put it away. Other people clean the car before they take it out.
Right.
I clean the car before I take it out. Isn't that what you do?
Before I go for a drive?
Yeah.
Of course. I'm saying in the video is what I was talking about before.
Yeah.
I clean it and then go for a drive.
Yeah, I do too.
Like, why would you go for a drive dirty and then come home and clean it?
I don't know. I think there's someone saying you go like hoon the car and then clean it. But like you're not, these cars are like in barns. Like.
And to be honest with you, off camera, before the customer comes, of course I'm wiping it down and doing a quick...
Yeah.
Like, I can't show everything. Remember we just talked about it? I'm like going to spend another 3 days showing
Sean Finney, do modern car seats need leather treatment and conditioning? I've heard that modern leather seats are treated at the factory, making conditioning useless.
In certain cars, yes. Some Mercedes, yes. I wouldn't call it useless.
Are treated? Some cars are treated?
Some, from what I understand, in newer Mercedes have that, but I would still, because the conditioner is basically laced with UV protection. So like in yours, you should probably do that. If you're out in the sun with no thing on it, you'd be crazy not to do that. You're basically, it's sunburn.
Yeah, it's sunburning,
So,
fortunately, I own a shop. Tim says, Larry, do you still intend, we only have 4 left, so we'll bang through them.
Cool.
Larry, do you still intend on teaching classes out of your studio?
I do, and I have some exciting things coming very soon, and I've been working on it since February, and it's challenging to harken back to the thing I talked about before. Because the videos are taking so long, it's not just like it's taking too long and it's not making enough money. It's like I literally am pushing back these other projects, like, you know, my ATA series, the Ammo Training Academies. I have another series that I've been working on and writing. It's 30 chapters, and I'm a lunatic. And I can't get 10 minutes to be able to write and continue going in, where I go into like, what's the profitability? How do you make profit in this business? Like, everybody's like, passion and love, and I'm like, I'm in, dude. I'm in. I get it. But at the end of the day, like, my kid doesn't eat off of passion. You know what I mean? So
really?
Yeah.
Mine does.
Yours does? So yeah, we're going to be doing that. So the point I'm making is, after that online training, then once people do that, then I'm giving access to come here, because I don't want to just have, we'd have 10,000, you know, that'd be crazy. So I want to have steps. We're doing it. Okay,
doing it. Where do people follow? If just on social media, you'll announce that when you have it? Is there a special place people got to do it? Or
No.
Make sure you follow Larry on Instagram.
Or just sign up for the emails and all that.
Social media, sign up for the mailing list.
All the media.
Joe does typical car maintenance and detailing in his garage and has shitty lights. Recommendations on garage lighting: type of bulb, color, temperature, quantity, spacing, any specific lighting vendors you recommend. I mean, these things, the ones above our heads here, I don't know if do they show in this video, the hexagonal, if you like literally Google hexagonal garage lighting.
Yeah, this was the first like version of
you can see in the reflection of my Boxster windshield.
So it depends on what he's trying to do as well. That's when people, so I don't know how to answer that. Like, if he just wants like a regular garage, then there's tons of lighting for that. We can talk about that. But if he's talking about detailing, then you have to have specific lights that are not advantageous to having the car look pretty all the time. Like, that's not what I'm there for. I'm looking I want to see all the horrible stuff.
Yeah.
This one here, not really great for detailing, but man, does it look cool when I'm shooting Instagram photographs when I'm sitting here, right? So I did that on purpose. So like, work pictures, work when I'm done.
Well, you also use the scan grips.
But the scan grips are posted everywhere. And I have like, so that light is very different. It's more yellow, and this is more blue.
Yeah.
And so that yellow is just like, it makes the car not look all that great, which is exactly what I want. I'm there to work. This one with the more blue light
makes the car look good.
Yeah. So
my new shop, I have a hex rig over the bay, and then I have 5 scan grips at 6 feet.
That's smart.
Yeah, I didn't get the ones that are as powerful as yours. I got the one step down, but my bay is a little smaller.
Yeah.
And you said yours were so gnarly you could get sunburn.
But those are at 20%.
Yeah.
And if I push them up to 100%, they're like, the guy said like, hey, you should probably not have these all pointing in the same direction. Oh, jeez.
2 more. Cameron says, as a young detailing professional, I would love to hear tips you have for staying healthy and safe while detailing. Outside of gloves and a respirator, do you have techniques, equipment, or exercises you recommend?
That is the best question we've gotten all day. That's going to be answered in ATA 300. I'm not going to pretend like that. I'll answer it, but that's why I on the 3rd floor, I have my full gym. So I work out every single morning, not for like, I want to work out. We're old and married. Like, I don't care. I'm just doing it so that I can not like crawl home every day. So yeah, there's a lot of stretches and a lot of things I do in the morning, specifically for my back, my hands, and my feet, to be able to do all this stuff. So we're going to be talking more about that in the ATA 300. But that is that's the first person who's ever asked a question that's not like, how do I wax my car? Like, it's like, if you're going to, longevity is the way. We agree that like this business is not long term. It's like a running back. Like you only get a couple of years, and then you got to retire, kind of thing. This guy is spot on.
Good one, Cameron. And Cameron has another one that's is an IDA certification beneficial or recommended in regards to building a reputation or a high-end client base? I don't even know what the fuck that is.
IDA is International Detailing Association.
I
have a lot of friends that are on there that are wonderful people. So I'll be as political as I possibly can. I think having more education is great, but I have, truthfully, and I think everyone should sign up for the IDA, and I think they're great. Having said all of that, not one time have I ever heard, or certainly in my shop, has anyone walked in and be like, "Are you IDA certified?" And maybe maybe I'm the exception or something because of YouTube. I get that as well, but I think realistically, when people are coming in, it's nice to have something like that on the wall. But maybe I'm wrong. I just don't think. I mean, you tell me. Do you think does anyone walking into your shop and be like, "Hey, I want you to detail"? Do you have an IDA?
No, but people ask me if they should get a degree in journalism to do my car reviewing job.
Right.
And no, I mean, I don't. I'm sure somebody who does this job has a degree in journalism, but the vast majority do not, and a bunch of them don't have college degrees at all.
Right.
So like
be better than everybody else.
Yeah.
like be so good they can't ignore you. Like the book, like just be great, and no one's gonna be like, can I see your?
Be honest, be good, and like do good work,
right.
and like the work will speak for itself.
Yeah, and in detailing world, take a bunch of pictures, put them on the wall, show.
But
people.
maybe I mean I don't know if there's is there like a database where like maybe a big shop might go to look for candidates or something like that.
That's really smart. Maybe.
Yeah.
I've just never really. I was there from like many years ago when we were trying to write tests for them or whatever, and it's a great organization, so I'll leave it at that.
Probably couldn't hurt.
Oh, it's definitely not going to hurt. Like having more education, like I said, is great. But is it going to like? Is someone
a customer doesn't know to ask for that?
It's not like
maybe an employer, maybe,
but even like what is it? The AS? What is the one? The mechanics? Are they ASE? ASE?
ASC. ASC certified. ASE.
Something like that. Yeah. But like, even when you go to get this thing worked on, you're like, hey man, like, let me see your ASC like, I don't even do that. Mm-hmm. So you're saying, like, I think you're onto something. I think it has to do with the employer, maybe.
One more just came in. Average lifespan for paint protection film. Costs of it are rising. I'm struggling to justify the cost again when I could effectively repaint the front of the car for twice what it costs on average now.
That seems challenging to hear.
He goes on to say he's got a friendly body shop that he could get discounted rates on repainting.
All right. So first of all, repainting, it's never. It's just by default. I don't care how good the body shop is. It's never the same because the barometer, the temperature, all that stuff is very, very hard to match. And the best body shops in the world are the ones that can match it the best. Having said that, he is correct because it's plastic and oil, petroleum and all that. It is becoming more expensive. Having said all of that, I still think it's worth it if you're going to protect a car. That if it's over $100,000, it's almost a no-brainer. Like you have to do it. If it's not, I can understand that. Just like econ, there's going to be a point where they both meet. At some point, what is that? I don't know. At minimum, I think putting a clear bra on the front of your car for a couple $1,000 makes a lot of sense. Personally, I think if you put it on the rest of the car, I said this before, and this is a longer conversation, but if we could put this on and it didn't take us a week to put it on and be as expensive as it is, it'd probably put the detailing business out of business. That's how good clear bras are.
It changed my attitude towards the car.
Yeah.
Like, even if I had a friendly body shop that could repaint my front bumper every 3 years or something, like my Safari car and now this car, compared to how I think about my other personal cars that don't have it, like, to me, it's expensive, but if you're starting at this level, it's a no-brainer.
There's no choice.
I see a little fucking bit of schmutz on it, and like, I'll wash it off. Yeah. Like, it's like,
remember,
I'll fucking literally, I will eat off of it, like McDonald's, I don't eat McDonald's, but you know what I'm saying? I'll fucking put a fucking paper cup with a Diet Coke in it on there and not give a fuck.
And what happens if you scratch it? You peel it off and do it again. That's what it's designed for. But he is right. It is a massive,
it's really
enormous pain in the butt to put that on. Right.
Yeah.
Like the amount of time that we spent on this, and the reason I'm not letting you take this home today is I got to let it sit for a little bit. It's like you got to like baby this, and then you're good to go once it's on there.
Yeah.
But if we could get the cost down, and we could get the application process down, like if it was applying a coating,
if
like
it was
that
like
kind of
a
thing,
paint on,
like a paint on kind of thing, or coating, like game over.
Yeah.
But
well, there it is.
There it is.
Thanks, Larry. Thanks for doing my car.
Yeah, I still got a little bit more work to do, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean it looks fucking so.
I'm happy for you, man.
It's so good. It's so shiny and like, just like it's very like chameleon like. It looks like a different car with the top up and with the top down, and
it does.
And in the indoor light here and in the outdoor open shade versus the afternoon sun. I mean, it's kind of the same as the Cassis Red in that regard, and I'm really happy with it, and even just going 10 miles under break-in speeds with the demand engine, it's really nuts. It's really nuts.
It looks beautiful. When I was in the other car looking at you, I was like, all right,
that's pretty sick.
That's nice.
So caffeine and carburetors tomorrow morning. Then I'm going to Atlanta tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to interview Killer Mike.
Dude. I saw Killer Mike I went to the Rage show.
You did before they canceled it?
Yes, I got to the last show. And I called Musto.
Was he on crutches?
Yeah, they carried him out.
Really?
They carried him out. Dude, I don't even forget about this.
Sick?
You know how half my thing is Rage, my company's name after Rage?
It's the sickest shit ever.
I lost my mind, and then the first thing when Killer Mike came out, I didn't know that they were opening because I was so focused
Run
on
the Jewels. Were they awesome?
They were awesome.
Yeah.
And then I called Musto, and he's like, "Yeah, I know Killer Mike." And I'm like,
he's homies with him.
Yeah, and he's like, "You want to go backstage?" And I was like, "Don't toy with my emotions right now. Like, this is insane." So I think when the next tour comes around, apparently Mike is hooking something up, so I can at least go and sit on the side. That's like my Derek Jeter, Mickey Mantle.
Mike is so nice. He's the nicest guy. I'm going to interview him for the magazine. The next issue of Road and Track is the music issue. So he's into cars, and
dude,
I'm very
do
excited.
whatever you can if you can get Rage again. Oh my God!
I had tickets for Oakland.
Oh, they're not.
I got refunded. They canceled. I mean, they canceled the tour because of Zach's ankle. So I'm sure it'll.
Yeah, is that? We can talk about. Something doesn't smell right there.
He tore his Achilles heel, his Achilles tendon.
Yeah, but he was killing it on stage. He was sitting on the box and he was going like this on the box.
Oh well, I think I mean, if I had to guess, I would guess he can't stop himself from jumping around and shit or whatever, and it's just according to his statement, his Achilles tendon is fucked and needs surgery and extensive rehab, and he's in a ton of pain, and
I will tell you this: if you don't understand how Rage is like.
Do you remember when we saw them?
Yes, and
he broke his ankle.
Yes,
he tripped on a monitor and broke his ankle on stage the last time I saw him, and he came back out in a fucking cast.
And I know that time that we saw it, you lost your beeper and your dad almost killed you. Do you remember that?
No,
dude, we couldn't get into the show. And then we called you.
I lost my beeper.
Dude, we went
that I don't remember at all.
Believe me, we were on the floor. We were in the middle because we were so excited. I still have that shirt. I wore that shirt to the last show, and there's a bunch of old dudes like me, and they were like, "Nice shirt, man." I'm like,
the Rage and Wu-Tang shirt.
Yeah, the black one. So I went in. We sat in the middle, and then we got elbowed out because people went bananas.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then we went to the edge, and we started staying on the hockey rink on Madison Square Garden. And then you lost your beeper, and your dad had to do all this work to get us the tickets because we couldn't get in because we were sold out. And then when we got back, your dad almost killed you. You're like, "Where's the beeper?" Like, "I lost it. I got hit." And we kept talking about how we were getting punched.
I
totally remember that.
I gotta ask my dad if he remembers the beeper.
Yeah, it was that you lost your beeper.
I haven't thought about having a beeper in a decade. It sounds awful to say that I even had one now because it ages me so bad.
But I will say this: when I was at the show, they sounded exactly like they do. That's the band that when you go to another band, you're like, "Oh, that's cool." Like they must do a lot of work in the studio.
Yeah.
They sounded exactly like it. And if you look at Tom Morello, he's pushing 60.
I don't think he's that old.
He's in his late. Look him up. He's not that young. The guy was going bananas. He was going nuts.
He's 58.
Dude, I told you.
Good for you.
He is.
Wow, good for Tom Morello.
Yes.
Fucking ageless. I wouldn't have guessed he was. I mean, the math says, but I wouldn't have guessed he was over 50 or 51. But
with the two guitars, doing his stomping or whatever.
Yeah.
In all of, I am pointing upstairs because all my pictures upstairs.
I need to fucking go.
Dude, it changed everything.
I'm
begging you. I'm legit begging you. If you go, I will do whatever I can do.
I gotta. I will schmooze Killer Mike.
Please.
That's our show. MONYC.com for all of Larry's products, all his shit. MONYC social media.
Subscribe. Watch the videos.
Go watch his YouTube videos.
And Rage Against the Machine forever.
Yeah. And we'll have a video. He'll have a video about prepping my Boxster.
When is this coming out?
Tuesday, probably.
All right, so probably 2 weeks after this.
All right, cool. That's our show. Thank you for our patrons. Appreciate it. Of course, patreon.com/thesmokingtire. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
See ya.